Hello, beautiful friends and book lovers. I hope that you are all doing well. If you are new to my channel, my name is Heather, and here at Heather's Book Review, I tend to read and review thrillers and mysteries. But as you'll see today, I will read the occasional super hyped up fiction novel. I chose Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid as one of my book of the month choices. If you are not familiar with book of the month, it is a book subscription company where you pick a membership. It's like the one I do, they actually may all be the same. Mine is $14.99 a month, and that includes one of the 5 books that they're like really pushing for the month, and then you can also add an add-on for $10. So you can get like any of these hardback books as an add-on for $10. So not sponsored by them, but I do have a referral code, so I'll put that in the description box below. And if this sounds like something that you'd like to do, I would love if you could go through my referral code, because then I get a free book, which is pretty freaking sweet. You can also connect with me on Instagram and Goodreads, the same handle as my YouTube, just at Heather's Book Review. I love to chat with you guys on both platforms. But yeah, let's just get started in the review. If you're new here, I always do a non-spoiler review for those of us who haven't read, and then a book chat part of the video for those of us who have read near the end of the video. So I chose this book because I absolutely loved The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. The 7 Husbands made my top 10 of 2020 video, which I will link up here for you if you are interested. But The 7 Husbands is amazing. That book is so great. I think I did hear that it's in the works to become a movie, which would be amazing. I know this book is becoming a show adapted by Hulu. Thank you to my friend Carolina for letting me know that bit of info. But this book was super hyped up. Like, so many people gave it 5 stars all over Bookstagram. Everyone's like, wow, this is amazing. Wow, this is amazing. Wow, this is amazing. And I read it and I was like, I mean, it was okay. I'll go ahead and read the book synopsis for you. I know there are some of you who have left in the comments below that you actually don't like when I do that because you feel like it gives it too much away, which I can totally relate to because I never read the book synopsis because I feel that way. I just feel like I'm in the minority for that. So I will link in the description below the timestamp where you can just click on that and it'll bring you to my personal non-spoiler review premise, which I tend to try to not give as much away that the inside of the book flap does. But let me go ahead and read the synopsis to you for those of you who like to hear it. Malibu, August 1983. It's the day of Nina Riva's annual end of summer party, and anticipation is at a fever pitch. Everyone wants to be around the famous Rivas. Nina, the talented surfer and supermodel, brothers Jay and Hud, one a championship surfer, the other a renowned photographer, and their adored baby sister Kit. Together, the siblings are a source of fascination in Malibu and the world over, especially as the offspring of the legendary singer Mick Riva. The only person not looking forward to the party of the year is Nina herself, who never wanted to be the center of attention and who has also just been very publicly abandoned by her pro tennis player husband. Oh, and maybe Hud, because it is long past time for him to confess something to the brother from who he's been inseparable with since birth. Jay, on the other hand, is counting the minutes until nightfall, when the girl he can't stop thinking about promised she'll be there. And Kit has a couple secrets of her own, including a guest she invited without consulting anyone. By midnight, the party will be completely out of control. By morning, the Riva mansion will have gone up in flames. But before that first spark in the early hours before dawn, the alcohol will flow, the music will play, and the loves and secrets that shape this family's generations will all come rising to the surface. Malibu Rising is a story about one unforgettable night in the life of a family, the night they each have to choose what they will keep from the people who made them and what they will leave behind. Okay, so now for my non-spoiler of the book. So the book is spun, like especially the inside flap there, spins it like you're gonna be reading this book that progresses over a day. And in my opinion, it's not like that. Basically, we follow our main character, Nina. Well, actually, no, we don't only have like one protagonist. Basically, you're following the point of views of the 4 siblings. There's Nina, Jay, Hud, and Kit. All of those all go in like age progression as well. And then the book goes to past and present point of views, from Nina and her siblings to past point of views of their parents, the mom and the dad. And basically, this book takes place in the 80s in the present point of view. And then the parents, when they meet, is obviously like years earlier. But basically, as you're reading, you're just finding out about their parents' relationship and like what happened with the parents and how they came to know each other. How did their marriage go? When did they start having all of these kids? Did it work out for them? Blah, blah, blah. And then it transitions to one of the 4 kids' point of views. That's basically all I'm gonna say. If you're someone that likes books that center on like family drama, family dynamics growing up, you should check out this book because it's very like, I don't wanna say family oriented, but I guess that's fine. It's just, it has a very heavy emphasis on just like family in general. And if you're someone that doesn't mind a past and present point of view, that goes literally from like this book doesn't have chapters, it's more like years or like dates. But if you're someone that doesn't mind that like hip hopping between like, is it the parents' point of view now or is it one of the kids, like back and forth, if that doesn't bother you, then you would, you'd probably really like this. I'm not surprised that Hulu is picking it up as a TV show because it feels that way. The book feels like it could be like a mini series, if that makes sense, where it's like you're reading it and you're like, I could see this play out over like 6 to 8 episodes. So as always in all of my book reviews, I do like to say if there was anything that really stood out to me about this particular book. I'm looking at my notes here. There are things that I enjoyed in terms of like character actions, but I obviously can't say them because that would be spoilers. So I'll just say some of the characters are really wonderful and like super inspiring, and parts of their actions and journey really stood out to me while I was reading. However, and I hate to say it, but other than that, the book was just very mediocre for me. Very mediocre. I sadly wouldn't recommend reading this book. Like, I wouldn't even recommend it as like a summer beach read. I just didn't think it was very exciting or thrilling at all. I found myself annoyed with how the book is described versus how my reading experience like actually went. Like, I didn't want to read about their parents. And I know that that builds character and like sets the tone for the story, but like I thought I was gonna be reading all about this like crazy party, when in reality that doesn't even happen for like a long time in the book. So I that part just kind of annoyed me, and I was like, I feel like this book is marketed differently than it was actually written, if that makes sense. It was just a huge bummer that I didn't like this book as much as everybody else, because I loved The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I know the same author wrote Daisy Jones and the Six, which I have never read, but so many people even say that that's even better than The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I'm just not sure what happened with this one. And I'm also like I said, so many people love it. And I'm just like, I'm wondering why I didn't have the same experience as everybody else, because I don't see what there is to love about this book, or I don't see like what about this book is so amazing, like where you would give it 5 stars. I understand that like the main purpose of this book is to like see the siblings like relationships and watch the characters grow and everything, but nothing stood out to me. Like, nothing stood out to me. Who do you guys think would make a good cast, seeing as though Hulu is adopting the show? I Can't really think of anyone right now, but I also really struggle with like placing actors and actresses like in character roles, but some of you are so talented with that. So leave in the comments below if you have someone or people in mind that you think would be great for the cast. Goodreads, this is gonna get a 3 out of 5. Personal rating, it's a 7 out of 10. If you've read the book, please keep listening because I'm gonna share my thoughts with you in the book chat part of the video now. If you're new here and you haven't read the book and you're gonna leave right now because you don't wanna get spoiled, I would love if you could hit that subscribe button and that post notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new bookish related video. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna be referencing my notes a lot here. I did a buddy read with my friend Carolina and we read this book in 3 chunks. And I will say, because we did this, it made me realize that like the book felt like it didn't know what it wanted to be in the sense of what I've been saying. Like it markets itself as like, read about this crazy party. And then you're reading it and you're like, the first half of this book is Mick and the mom's like relationship. And I was just like, I understand that like the purpose of that is to like build up to like why Mick doesn't have a relationship with his kids. But like, I was just like, what? Like, this isn't what I wanted to read. Okay, June is the mother's name. It's in my notes right here. I felt like I was going into the book being like, oh, this is gonna be all about siblings. And then it was all about June and Mick. And then June and Mick's part just like abruptly stops. And then I feel like we barely got anything about Nina and Brandon's relationship, which I was like, there was so much invested into June and Mick, barely anything for Nina and Brandon, and it just didn't feel balanced to me. I was like, it felt like oddly off kilter, if that makes sense. Loved Nina's character. I felt like she was a super strong character. She really stepped up to the plate when June started deteriorating with her alcoholism and, you know, was really trying to provide for the family before she, you know, made it as a big model. But I really liked seeing her step up to the plate and her growth there and just how she always put everybody else before herself. You know, she definitely was the mom of the household, especially when June deteriorated to, you know, her final moments. And I really appreciated that about her character. How did everybody feel about the random, like, movie star point of views towards like the end of the book at the party? I was kind of like, okay, are we being introduced to all of these random characters because one of them is going to be responsible for starting the fire? Like, I didn't see the purpose of including those point of views. Did you guys? Like, let me know if I'm missing something here, because at that time, I just like didn't find myself appreciating those point of views. I just wanted to get back to the family drama. It was almost comical that the fire was started by Mick. One, because he ruins everything and he's caused so much you know, figurative and literal damage in the kids' lives, but also because we kept getting those random point of views. And I like, with all these people doing all this crazy shit, you know what I mean? And I'm like, but it started from him flicking a cigarette or like, you know, setting a cigarette down. And I was like, well, he ruins everything, let's be honest. And my final thought about Malibu Rising was that Hud was probably my favorite sibling. I loved his story with Ashley, and Jay was just such an ass to him. Like, Jay literally admitted that he didn't care for Ashley, but he was so pissed at Hud for like not telling him. And I'm just really happy that everything worked out in the end for Hud, because I did not like Jay's character at all. I thought he was just like a conceited ass. And I felt like Hud was just so caring and he did so much for Jay. When the truth did come out, I feel like Hud handled it well, whereas Jay was just like an immature mess. I don't know. That's basically all my thoughts on Malibu Rising. Please leave in the comments what you thought about the book. Are you in the majority of what it seems to be the majority of people who love this and gave it a 5 stars? Or if you're familiar with Taylor Jenkins Reid, was this a book that kind of fell flat for you? Let me know if I'm alone here in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, you guys.